Rise in peace, prosperity, and paradise, everybody. I am your host, Soultree. Today we have Araw ng Patay. This is a gallery. It is a offering of many different visual art forms. We just heard GintoSeeds. Let's put a round of applause, some claps, and some snaps for our kapwa, Nick and Anyaya, who just blessed us with their percussion offerings. Today we gather together here to share with you our creations in honor of our loved ones who are now in the afterlife. Images of stories and memories, imaginations manifested, symbols that wish to resonate to the sacredness of life. Mabuhay ang ating mga mahal sa buhay. May we continue to honor them with our creation. It is such an honor to be here and to present these amazing gifts. So as we celebrate, as we honor our ancestors, we just want to share a little bit about Araw ng Patay and how we celebrate and practice this day around the world as Filipinos. It is Filipino History Month. It is such a great time for us to begin this process of reconnecting with our ancestors, especially when the veil is thin. And we are so grateful to have this month to really focus in on what is important to us, our family, our tracing of our lineage. And every year in the start of November, Araw ng Patay, or Day of the Dead, All Souls Day, takes place. And it is a time for many different communities and many different cultures to come together and reflect, to honor the life that has passed, and to let that legacy influence and impact those that are living, remembering the continuum and timeline of life. That is a big part of Filipino cosmology and way of being. That is just part of our, ancestral way, is seeing the continuity of life and death, the spectrum. And now we're going to be showing you how the many artists in our community have wanted to share their art or wanted to commemorate a loved one or a memory with them. And we hope you enjoy it. We hope it nourishes you and also makes you think about your practices and what ways you can honor, or build, or heal relationships with ancestors that have passed.
My nanay told me to pray. She transitioned earlier this year. As I stand on this side of the Pacific, calling out her name, Nanay Andina, I can't help but wonder, can you hear me? Are you here with me? This ocean is a bridge. How do I cross?
created stories in which no Filipino American, from my experience, has talked about it, because not that many are going through the situation. You know, it's not until later on in my adult life where I found some relevant stories and other people that have that shared experiences.
I have no idea how things work there. And now that I am retired, it's almost too tiring to even think about going through all of this. The other part of it is I'm sorry, because then we have nothing of our homeland to give to our own children.
Those were inherited by the men. Whatever was further and lesser in value was given to the woman, the daughter.
My mother inherited a parcel of land. It's about 5 hectares. It's in Pangasinan. I'm not so sure of the name, but it's around Bayambang. So she inherited it from her aunt. It is tenant occupied. They've been tilling the land for so many years, maybe about 80 to 90 years.
We're just custodians of this land.
So Lupa in Tagalog means earth, and this is a very exciting teaser from our friend Kristian Kabuay. Sarimanok is a really beautiful and enchanting bird in the Philippines. This next video is called Sarimanok, or Inikadowa. It is from my sis, Jackie Marzan. It's a special video from our visual gallery, and it's part of her artist process of creating her offering today. All right, next up we got Jun-Jun Tianco. His offering is called Sundowning. This visual representation celebrates the poetic and atmospheric light at the end of the day, hence the title. All right, welcome back to Araw ng Patay 2021. I'm here with a special guest, one of the space holders of Araw ng Patay for the last 7 years. We got Diyan with us here. Nicholas on guitars. Maraming salamat. You're holding the space. Yeah. All right. So we just wanted to share a little bit of text, a little bit of ideas and question and consciousness raising with all of you. As somebody that's been holding space for Araw ng Patay for the last 7 years, you know, is there a question you wanted to offer the audience, the community around, you know, just thinking about this time?
Yeah, so today, we're gonna be celebrating Araw ng Patay. Like, what do you do in your families? Do you have traditions that you do with your own loved ones that have passed over to the afterlife? I think we all have different traditions, whether it's like thinking about the favorite foods of our ancestors. What do you think happens to our loved ones when they pass away? Where do they go in the afterlife, right?
Beautiful, beautifully said. And I just wanted to share a quick excerpt from the Song of the Babaylan from Grace Nono. I got this book in 2015, right before I went to the Philippines, and it was the Center for Babaylan Studies Symposium that introduced me to Nick and Diyan, but also to the amazing Grace Nono. This text is about the living voices, medicines, spiritualities of Philippine ritualists, oralists, and healers. And this section that struck me was spoken by a person named Nong Cabeza. And it says, if someone wants to cut a tree, that person must first request a medical, mamumuhat, or someone who knows how to properly communicate with the spirits to seek their permission. Loggers must pay the price by slaughtering and offering a pig in the forest, or the spirits will be very angry. I will know if the spirit owner of a tree has allowed it to be cut when an egg stands by itself on a plate, after I ask whether permission is granted. If the egg doesn't do that, I must warn the person concerned to avert impending disaster. And I just wanted to share that because when we're talking about living and dead, we're not just talking about people, although many of us are honoring our ancestors who were in the flesh, the human flesh. We're talking about all beings. We're talking about this animistic way that our ancestors preserved of relationship with everything, that everything has life. And in this time that we've been friends, this time we've been honoring Araw ng Patay, it has only expanded our consciousness around relationship and accountability to one another. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for holding the space. And thank you for your questions about, you know, what we can think about, how we can honor them in really, really specific ways. Yeah.
I think death is like a really big thing in our culture, at least in the past. Nowadays, we don't really think about death too much, and so I think if you look at the stories of our ancestors, of ancient ancestors in the soul book, there are so many stories about death and what happens to souls and spirits when they move to the afterlife. And they even say back in the day when we left this plane that we're taken in on a boat. Wow. And we meet our ancestors that are in the afterlife. And so we have like images of this bangka taking us in the ilog, even in the manungol jar. We have another like figure, Anito, taking the person to the afterlife. And yeah, there's so many spirits. Where do they go? Where do they go after? There's even stories of babies that, you know, that have passed away. Where do they go? And there's this deity, Mabunyan, mother of the underworld, where this deity feeds milk to all the children that have been lost, all the children that didn't get to make it into their older form. And so there's so many stories in different tribes and cultures just in the Philippines of the different relationships that we have with death, and so many rituals and processes to process death as well through our stories. This one is the Soul Book by Demetrio, Fernando, and Lalcita. So this is like a series that talks a lot about different souls and spirits and the different beliefs that we have had in the islands, in the Philippines.
This offering is about the Tagalog and Pangasinan deity of the sun and the Lord of War. It's an anti-colonial song that was inspired by a passage written as APOLAKI from a Spanish report. All right. These two artists are some of my favorites out there. We got Champoy and Gingee. Champ is an interdisciplinary artist working along the lines of intention and improvisation. Gingee is a producer, DJ, and vocalist from LA, creating eclectic dance music, blending global and cultural sounds. Their offering is Untitled. It explores the white magic of albolario's practice and understanding communication styles of both the living and the dead.
In my parents' town, like where the old church is, there's like a abolario manghilot that lives like right nearby there, and me and my sister would go there. And like one time when we were there, because like we were like, sometimes we go there like when we first come back, and then we try to get like a pangontra, different things. Or like if I have like a rash or something, or I wanted them to like check out my skin. And so they would do their thing. And one time me and my sister like we were like having like a lot of like bites and stuff, or like some kind of bite. So we went there just to like see, and there was this petite woman that was being like possessed, like Sanban. And like she was like a petite woman, and there are like 4 or 5 people like holding her down. Wow. And like it's like there's like usually like the person would like murag, like the spirit, they would ask them like what's your name, and the petite woman would like say a different name or something. And like it was funny because like we were like there, and we were telling her aunt like, should we leave, because like I don't want anything like transferring to me or like my sister, right? So I was like, but then my aunt was like, no, it's okay, we'll just wait. And I'm like, oh, oh God. So I was like, okay. And so like I watched it, and it's like he would also have this thing where like he would have these matches like that are not lit, and he would like put it on like certain points of the body, and it's like they would feel like they're burning or something. And so like the woman was like, kind of like, ah. But like he was able to bring her back. It was weird. It was kind of like going to a clinic, but like
exorcism.
Yeah, like just at this house. I was like, I was everything like but I guess it's like common. They were saying like what happened was they were reading that the woman was like walking kind of like near like the kind of like a shore kind of like concrete kind of thing, because like yung asawa niya was like also kind of works there, but something like the way that she walked kind of pissed off like somebody, a spirit that was living there. And so supposedly like but it was such a trip like seeing that. I was like but then after that I was like, I guess it's like pretty standard, like stuff like that. And Nico's like showing like this video of like some dude, I forgot, like Bulacan, that was like pretty much like doing those things, but the woman wasn't really like possessed like in the usual way, because like they would do certain things to see that this person is like, and so it's interesting. But that's kind of funny. It's scary at the same time.
Wow.
But it was cool. The next thing you know, the lady came back and she didn't know like what happened. It's more like it's kind of like Gising siya from like a fever or something, like just kind of.
When we think of Araw ng Patay, usually it's also known as Undas, All Souls Day. But yeah, what do people do during that time? And I've heard that what folks do is during that time, you go to the cemetery and pretty much you have a party with the people that have passed away. You have a party in the cemetery. You bring your food, you bring your alak, your alcohol, and you do some karaoke, you bring some magic mic in there. And that's what people do usually, but I know, and we've had this practice of revering past ones, ancestors that have passed away, even beyond that tradition. We were doing it every day, respecting the different souls and spirits that have passed away so that they can help us, you know, have abundance in our gardening or in our harvest and different things. And so for Araw ng Patay, virtual halika, we're trying to experiment and see what kind of different offerings that we want to share with our loved ones that we want to honor. And so Araw ng Patay for us might look different, you know, but whatever we create, whether it's the food or the art or the music, this is an offering to the loved ones that we want to honor in the afterlife. And so hopefully y'all get to check out what we do and develop your own practice. What do you want to do to honor your loved one, a spirit that's gone to the afterlife?
That's beautiful, and definitely let us know what those practices are in the comments. And if you want to subscribe to this type of work to learn more and continue to build that, we will be continuing to share. And I just wanted to add to your point, Diana, and also acknowledge the excerpt that you shared about this goddess that feeds the children that have passed. I also feel like as you're speaking, I'm remembering how celebrating Araw ng Patay and also honoring our ancestors and honoring death or endings in general helps us with our mental health. And it can look many different ways over time. And so we'd love to hear how that has evolved for all of you in the comments. And if any of the videos or any of the art in the gallery resonate with you, let us know. Connect with these artists, reach out to them. Let us know what resonated, what shifted for you. And as a matter of fact, I just came from the gallery. It looks so dope, by the way. Thank y'all so much for advancing this virtual world that we're all, you know, collaborating on and entering with this current time that we're in. And so we just want to, you know, give our biggest respects to people that are continuing the art cultivation space for us to gather, even when we can't see each other in person. I'm about to go there. You want to head back? You want to check out the gallery? I want to go swim around the gallery. It looks like a nice little ocean out there. All right. Well, we'll see you there.
medicine is in my breath. The power is in my stillness. I feel the peace whenever I meditate. I let it wash all over me. 'Cause I'm whole, I'm me. I walk with confidence every time I step in something new. 'Cause I'm loved, I'm brave. I walk with confidence every time I step in something new. Medicine is in my breath. The power is in my stillness. I feel the peace whenever I meditate. I let it wash all over me.
I've been legally advised to not sign up for health insurance, and so I know this will come out of my pocket. Just go to the emergency room. Go to county. This could just be uterine lining, but just go. But how much does the ER cost? Don't worry about the money. Medical will take care of it. Tita, I have to reschedule. I'm bleeding. Who is taking you? Oscar. What's happening? You just texted me you were okay to meet. But then I went to the bathroom. Okay. You going to the hospital? I'm going to the hospital. Just call me if you need time. Just call me if you need someone to talk to after. Okay, Tita. We'll reschedule. Yes, Tita. First hospital was a dud. No OB on staff, but at least my nurse is Filipino. The doctor said he couldn't legally advise me, but he was just saying they can't do much. The most they can do is an ultrasound, but even then they'd have to send it elsewhere. They'd have to send me elsewhere. And the nurse that was Filipino said, maybe it will just cause more delays. As he went ahead to take my vitals, the nurse behind him was still fuming. How can you be 3 months without visiting an OB? Well, if you really must know, I haven't been to the doctor since I moved out 6 years ago. Some people just don't. My sis Amelia had said to sign up for Medi-Cal a month ago, but my lawyer said it might interfere with my process. So as I weigh the potential consequence of having to leave the country without guarantee of approved return, I over-contemplate my alternatives to a registered specialist. I'd asked my primary maternal guardian to help me out, but I am one of 2 from my family on this fine continent, and I can't call 7,200 miles away with such uncertainty in my voice. That would be impractical, just as this explanation was impossible in the topsy-turvy of things. Maraming salamat po. We went to East LA doctors, no line, a few electronic signatures, and they had Mr. Mo ask me preliminary questions. Allergies and past surgeries, that sort. I said nuts except for almonds and peanuts, and bone marrow surgery at 9 months. He scribbles it on the back of a form. Next step of protocol was to get my urine sample. I wish the biohazard bag had a gusset, you know, that fold that lets things stand up inside of paper bags. Because this urine container is a little too cylindrical for a Ziploc not to tip over. Leave it on the blue counter and walk to the bed. They give me a gown. Look, Mom, I'm in a gown. It's light blue, though, and the pattern of 80s triangles. Oscar helps me tie it. I lay in the bed as they take my blood and plug an IV. Is that what I signed for? This is what you signed for. Dr. Mahal places pressure on the four corners of my belly to check for any sensitive trauma. No vomiting? You're all having it easy these days. We giggle together. I guess so. A woman in maroon scrubs asks me to move into a wheelchair. Don't worry, you can move around. The IV is just plastic. I get into the chair and they ask me if I would like socks. Oscar and I shrug approvingly and they grab these plastic-wrapped, non-skid baby blue socks. They put it on my feet and another woman with glasses and blonde highlights wheels me a couple corridors down to the ultrasound room where Oscar is not allowed. The room has another bed. It's cozy. She prepares the warm gel onto the ultrasound tool. What's this called? Instead of the fantastic imagined course of travel, the electronic wand goes around the belly, just like in the movies. She just positions the reading tool on my tummy a few times in spatially close increments, as if, in Oscar's words, taking x-rays from different angles. An error. I didn't know these types of machines ran out of memory. Frustrated, she takes a picture of the alert for the radiologist and pauses procedure to visit him. He reassures he received the images. Just 20 to 30 minutes. You will receive answers today. Oscar and I chat at the first bed. He offers me ice water with a bendy straw. It all looks so satisfyingly cartoony. Maybe the IV is an upper. Oscar moves his chair closer and we hold hands underneath a blanket that smells like hotel. We talk about getting food afterwards. We weren't too far from Yaya's and Platillo's completely. Birria will probably be closed by the time we get there. Nearly 3, he's right. Results are in and I'm still pregnant. We're given sheets of paper that say non-threatening vaginal bleeding, whatever that is. We're given a prescription for cephalexin, antibiotics. You have a UTI, apparently common for expecting mothers. We untie the gown. We say goodbye to Mr. Mo. We set off to complete the medical application at the kind front desk. And finally, by the highest outcomes, we decide on Chef Kang's for late lunch and arrive right as they open. We didn't have to pay a cent at the pharmacy. We even got a $2 credit after we picked up the medicine. We fumbled around the CVS Halloween sale, and I really liked the Hello Kitty lunchbox. She wore a black cat costume. Oscar tried on the giant pug mask with a Vampiro taco hat. We used up the $2 on a chocolate bar. It had peanuts and raisins, my favorites, plus 2 10-cent soft caramels by the cashier's suggestion. Matthew made spinach and ricotta lasagna with poulet roti for second dinner. I heard Jesus is King for the first time and watched the live church rendition. We all agreed it felt like a Sunday, and that North probably receives the best pep talk every morning of her life. Middle of the night or much earlier than dawn, my belly hurts in the most unfamiliar way. Maybe it's the UTI, but that would feel much lower. Possibly the lasagna. I did have 2 slices. I would like to ask Matthew downstairs if he's also having indigestion, then I'm occupied by the feeling of having to shit and puke and pee at the same time. The blood is consistent, so I need a towel. I am up. Oscar asks if being upright helps. To be honest, nothing is helping. I feel like my core is being struck by lightning. I run to the bathroom. It's not stable until I release. How do you feel? Much better. We return to the dream time, but I don't retain anything. I have some microwave leftover deep-fried oyster mushrooms and meatballs and a suspect green cephalexin capsule for brunch the next morning, after Oscar leaves for the FUD delivery. The music video shoot is today. There's been a change of plans. I call the artist, the organizer, my soul sister, and share where I am at. I'm still bleeding. We were guided to postpone our meeting. It's only happening in your body. They comfort. I tell Mom on Facebook I'm going to the hospital again. Okay, but don't go alone. Baka mahimatay ka. You may faint. I'll get a hold of Oscar and we'll go. I research more symptoms of miscarriage. It may be pink, it may be red, it may be brown, it may smell foul. Suggested self-care. Keep track of the blood. If you can, collect the blood for the doctor. I run to the new Sistema Tupperwares we have in the upper kitchen cupboard and I grab the smallest one. This leaking is becoming a nuisance. Every time I pee, I bleed. I witness a purer clot. I bring the plastic container underneath and a miniature spinal cord with a purple lump leaves my body. I snap the lid on, weeping. I snap the lid off to make sure. This is a small brain. I snap the lid on again. This time the tears are instinctual, uncontrollable and loud. Placed inside a pink bubble Ziploc and into my closet while I retrieve my other towel. This hair is now not only greasy but sweaty. I jump into the shower and I clean myself as slowly as I want to. Oscar knocks toward the end and I yell, I'm nearly done. It's sunny. Our planet Eliza is cheerful, and Oscar turns around to smile the same. He was decompressing on his phone. I pour everything now that he's home. He stands and hugs me. We both lay down to talk about it. We agreed to travel to a northern canyon for a burial before he must go back for a closing shift. We bring some flowers from the vase, somehow, exactly the color we need. We park in prime space. We hike the narrow and dry trail. Oscar is determined to find the right place. It has to be the right place. We seek the river that has disappeared. We find a tree, which turned out better than the rocks as the fallen leaves blanketed rich roots. He pulled and wiped the small side clean and dug until called to cease. Ceremonial smoke as he brought stone to tree. He said it might be best for the baby to join the earth. I slide baby out of their temporary coffin. I wish he spared himself the sight of the body. He slowly returns to the soil with his hands. Not much of a help, only wailing in a squat. He had carved hana and hunger at the tree grown from the base of this grave. Before I tried to finish placing the pale and slender yellow leaves back on top, he asks me to stop. He gently bundles our 5 revived white roses on the freshly turned land. I speak to our baby. We'll visit you. My, how small the ceremony was.
I did it. I just have to tell everyone. I just have to be real. And, you know, do the experience and all the struggle that I went through, you know, I think I just have to tell everyone. It's like, I just gotta tell my story. And wait, what?
Is there light here? Why is it so dark?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Oh, there. Yeah, my name is Franz Garcia. Grew up in the Philippines, Quezon City, and moved to LA when I was 17. Want to follow the dream, be an artist. It wasn't easy, but you know, it's worth it. It's like, I just can't let it go. Like, I have to. It's for my parents. They're both artists. I grew up seeing them teaching art, my dad making art, and I just have to continue their legacy. My offering is this folktale, Pandaguan, Why People Die. It's a folktale about the first person to reach the afterlife. So the story is about him going to the afterlife. Like on one of my pieces, the first one, like he's facing the god Kaptan. He's the deity of lightning in the Philippines, like Visayan region. And the second one, my second piece, is Into the Darkness, is when Kaptan took him to the afterlife. Like, I feel like his journey just started when he went to the afterlife. Now it's like he has a bigger role to show like our culture and other things. I was born in the Philippines, but growing up and being here in LA, pretty much LA made me, like, as an artist, as an individual, you know. Salamat is not just a clothing brand, but it's this notion of going back to your roots, or going back to where you came from. If you want to check out Salamat, it's salamatlosangeles.com. And you could find it on the description. My advice to the artists out there that is just continue what you love to do. We always say work hard, but I think it should be work smart and hard. Make sure that you take care of yourself, and everything will just go full circle. Please check out like all the amazing artists in this virtual gathering. Thanks to GintoSeeds, Nicanor and Diane. Check out GintoSeeds.com and yeah, enjoy.
From the album Anyo at Halad, Nick and Diane of GintoSeeds, two well-known and well-loved creators or manggagawa here in Tongva Territory, Los Angeles, and 7-year space holders of ANP Araw ng Patay, they created this offering called Anyaya. So this video, Anyaya, is a representation of a fantasy of our ancestral offerings, like what we visualize in our minds as what we're giving to our ancestors. All right, y'all. Next up, we got someone that you're pretty familiar with by now. My name is Soultree. I am a creator of many art forms and experiences, from music to herbal medicine, movement, and space holding. I also do a lot of cultural and political consciousness raising in my community. I'll be offering Gising na and Tulog na. This is a video mashup, and it is made of original chants that came to me in really dark times. It really explores life and death from the perspective of waking up and going to sleep.
One.
Gising na, kamu ka. Gising ka na, gising na, katawan. Gising na, kaisahan. Gising na, kaluluwa. Gising na, kamu ka. Gising na, katawan. Gising na, kaisahan. Gising na, kaluluwa. Gising na, kamu ka. Gising na, katawan. Gising na, kaisahan. Tulog na, kaluluwa. Tulog na, kamu ka. Tulog na, katawan. Tulog na, kaisahan. Tulog na, kaluluwa. Tulog na, kamu ka. Tulog na, katawan. Tulog na, kaisahan. Tulog na, kaluluwa. Tulog na, kamu ka. Tulog na, katawan. Tulog na, kaisahan.
What's that buko shell that you have there? Well, this is an offering, and it's actually not for me, it's for y'all.
If you resonated or connected with anything that was shared today, any of the artists that were here, the production that took place, and the virtual gallery, you're welcome to contribute through the link in the description. Check it out below, and you can find our artists' bios, details about their work, their websites, their Instagram, their handles, and everything, as well as descriptions on their offerings. So check that out.
Check out GintoSeeds.com. That's where you'll see the Araw ng Patay virtual halika gallery. So we have almost like 18, almost 20 artists. You get to see the scoop, what was the intention they made behind it, and their offering for Araw ng Patay. So definitely check it out. And if you're interested in buying the art, definitely connects directly to the artist. But please check out GintoSeeds.com and you'll find all the information and the virtual exhibition right there.
Thank y'all so much. This has been fun. Thank you, Sis Diane. Thank you, Brother Nick. Thank you to this space. Thank you to the Núnûs that joined us. And all of your families for watching and staying tuned. We'll see you again next year, possibly